people want to wear a mask, that is okay. It protects others more than it protects you, because it prevents you from breathing or speaking moistly on them. Oh, what a terrible image.
Hey everybody, how's it going? Doc and Howlett here to bring you Corona and some comics. Let's talk about that. This is the quarantine edition. How's everybody going there? Hope you're staying safe. So it's by request of Hans, one of the most precious people in our comic book community. He requested me to wear a mask because, you know, I wouldn't want to speak, as our Prime Minister says, speak moistly on people. So I'm wearing my mask to protect people like Hans. Love you. Hopefully you're staying safe. So let's talk about the quarantine. Let's talk about some comics and have a Corona. Well, okay, maybe I'll have to take off the mask to have the Corona, but I want to show you guys. This has been my fun little quarantine project, my quarantine cosplay. Got like a dial here, a bind rune I made, and a little valve and regulator. I'm going to try not to speak too moistly on you. Okay, but I got to put something on my head because, yeah, hair's getting a little long, a little thick. Beard, yeah, there you go. Beard gets a little cramped under the mask. Okay, now we can have a sip of Corona. Which is absolutely delicious. I haven't had Corona in quite a while. Mostly been kind of like beer and rum. But yeah, during this quarantine time, I'm really not spending any money, just like most other people. A lot of stuff, you know, hours cut. Wife's not working. She's at home with the kids. Yeah, going pretty crazy. So still working, but reduced hours. No spending. And basically what I ever spent any little extra cash I ever had on was, you know, some comics and occasional beer, but basically stopped all other comic book and you know, fun purchases, except for what you'll see here, which is very little. And you know, just getting some beer, you know, for the mental health to get through what's happening. So hopefully everybody else, like I say, is safe and you know, hopefully financially stable, or going to come out of this, you know, better or recover well. I'm hoping very much so. You know, it's just kind of shutting down everything in the world, and I'm not going anywhere, you know, besides working home. So I have to try to keep myself busy while I'm at home, or preoccupied, or you know, working on your mental health and doing things that you enjoy still, even though all, you know, comic books are basically gone now. So one of the things is doing some of these crafts. So this is what I came up with here, based on a Mortal Kombat template mask that I had gotten from Dalai Lomo on here. Okay, so let's jump into it now. Again, share in the comments. Tell me what you guys are doing to occupy, or other hobbies that you're doing to occupy your time, or projects that you're doing to work on your mental health during this thing. Leave those comments below. Let's get to some of the comics, though, which are very few. These are the last comics that came out on March 25th. You know, the last day in North America that comics came out, which was very few for me to begin with. So in one side of this, it's good, you know, probably going to save a bunch of money. But, you know, when comics come back, the hard part is trying to keep track of everything that I was on and, you know, pick up from there. And hopefully, you know, who knows, if the print runs are going to be lower when the comics come back, so then it might be harder to get the copies and pick up where you're left off. And I don't hold any, because I'm like an hour and a half drive to the city to get any books. I, you know, whenever I can, go to those shops in Edmonton, but I don't hold any pull list or anything at those stores. So how about we get here? Let's start with this one. Alright, so this one real quick. Right there, reprint the facsimile edition of 182. Very, easy why I got this, if since I'm Wolverine. The holy trinity of, Hulk 180, 181, 182, and Wolverine appeared on the front, the first page of this story, which just ends, that whole, Hulk and Wolverine story and transitions into this new story. And I haven't read it, probably this story, in a very long time, since I had gotten my, 182, which was over 10 years ago, so I didn't even remember what the story was. I very faintly remembered, of course, just based on the cover. I remember the first page with Wolverine, but I didn't remember the story. And just skimming through it, very, very weird, I think, very odd, but it'll be good to eventually now, having the facsimile editions of 180, 181, 182 is great to read. And I think, the True Believer issues were okay, but this is a great way to do it. The facsimile gives it that old look. There's only one thing that they could make it absolutely better, is to actually make the interior out of, the old pulp papers, which would look beautiful, I think. Other than that, this is the best that you're going to get. So really cool that I can keep reading the stories, because that's probably one of the, 181 at least, is one of the books that I collect the most, as many as I can. Well, I have one real American, North American copy of 181, but I get a bunch of foreign editions, reprints, as many as I can, so that's cool to finally have in the collection. Let's get this. Oh, that's mighty tasty. Okay, X-Force number 9. This has been a pretty good series so far. I'm liking it. Of course, I'm just getting anything that has Wolverine. That's the basics of what I'm getting, which I should have done so long ago, I think, before, he even died, or when he died. That's what I should have done, and saved a bunch of money to get some better issues. But so besides some older issues that I want to get eventually when the comic books stores reopen, it's just basically, Wolverine stuff, Wolverine-related stuff. Some of his... Hopefully there's not going to be too many of them. Well, right now there might be a little bit, but a whole bunch of, side appearances that he's done in other books. But yeah, just the Wolverine-related books. When you get X-Force is pretty good. Domino especially, she's really, a key player, I think, so far in the stories. This particular book goes through... I don't know, so X-Force is, they go to this place and it's kind of overrun by the plants, but then there's this, like, Mayan god sort of thing, kind of running amok around there, so obviously there's probably going to be some kind of involvement, maybe through Krakoa, I'm not sure. Doesn't really explain a whole lot, but there's, like, places overrun with plants, and then you see this Mayan kind of cat-looking god thing, and they're going to go challenge it, so that's about it that happens in that, but pretty cool. Like the whole series so far is awesome. And then here we go. Okay, so see, this is one of the ones that I gotta really keep track of when comics come back. X-Men and Fantastic Four, issue number 3. I like this cover. And so basically, it was the whole story was the X-Men trying to get Franklin, to Krakoa. They were offering him a spot. The Fantastic Four really didn't want that, or his parents didn't want that. But then he's, I guess, supposedly losing his powers a little bit, Franklin. I didn't know about this. They stumble on, Latveria, and, Doom is trying to stop him. But, of course, Doom's got a little bit of plans in the background of his own. You can be sure of that. So, that's what's happening. So you got Latveria, Doctor Doom, you got X-Men and Fantastic Four all kind of merging here. Pretty cool story. So I can't wait till issue number 4, which is going to be a long while. So I really got to keep track of my stuff and make sure I get this when it comes out. Yeah, that's a good book too. Okay, before I show you this one, let's talk about the other book I left at work, because occasionally I get to read some comic books at work, if I get there early now during my lunchtime. And that was Black Cat issue number 10. And so that was the second part to a Wolverine appearance, a Wolverine story with, Black Cat and Wolverine. and that was a pretty good issue too. I really liked that one. So it's basically Cat was sent out to steal something from one of Wolverine's private collections, but somebody else gets it before her, and then Wolverine and Black Cat team up to get those stolen items back from for Wolverine, and he offers the one item that she was looking for was the painting, as long as she helps get back the rest of his items, which was kind of just an interesting little story into Wolverine and Logan's psyche a little bit. I don't know. It's not a huge thing, but I think it gives just a little emotional thing to him right at the end there. If you read it, if you know what I'm talking about, I'm not going to spoil it. But that was a good issue too, and I got the Spider-Woman variant because the place I was ordering it from online, they ran out of the regular Campbell issues covers with Wolverine on the cover. So sadly, I didn't get that one, but I got the story at least. Okay, so then let's talk about this one right here, Wolverine. My main dude. I got the Spider-Woman variant for that one. At least the first few issues of Wolverine, I want to get some nice variants. So I got the regular and I got the Spider-Woman variant here. Look at that cover. Okay, so this one's pretty simple. And it seems a lot shorter than the other one because issue number 1 was massive, and had 2 stories in it, beautiful artwork and writing, from Adam Kubert and Benjamin Percy. So this one, okay, so he wakes back up. Of course, the Pale Girl messed with him in the first issue. He gets healed again. They go to investigate another thing that happens on a ship, and then wouldn't you know it, he gets messed over again and controlled by the Pale Girl, and snicks somebody else in the book. So yeah, I think Wolverine's gonna eventually get hit and really peeved off at this Pale Girl because she just keeps controlling his mind, and so it'll be really good to see Wolverine eventually go all out on her, or figure out how to stop from being controlled by her. So this cover right here, what I saw, and it was on Hildebrandt's Instagram, I think, he did a variant for this particular cover, which is supposed to be coming out soon. I don't know if I can get a hold of it, but it was absolutely beautiful. So Adam's artwork, but then painted over by Hildebrandt. Beautiful, beautiful stuff. So if I can try to get that particular book, that variant, I will there too. So that's super cool. So I don't know what you guys got for your Corona comics, your quarantine comics, but tell me which ones you enjoyed in the last week. I think it was the March 25th was the last week that comics were distributed during this whole coronavirus thing. So which ones you got and which ones you guys enjoyed the most from that last week? And I just wanted to hit on this as well too. Resident Evil 3, the remake. What a great series. I mean, I have the original, well, not the original, but I have the GameCube version of it anyways, which is basically just like the PlayStation version. And the Resident Evil series is great. I mean, I got into it with the original Resident Evil 2, and from there I just kind of got anything and everything Resident Evil. But so I've played the Resident Evil 2 remake, and now they've made this one. Man, beautiful. It was great. Me and my son Logan finished it today. Yeah, just great story, great graphics. That feeling of the Nemesis coming at you just constantly through the game. And it is fairly short game, I guess. You could probably, if you're just burning through it really fast, you could do it in 6 hours. Average probably. It took us longer because we were, I like to enjoy it. I can go through the game slower. So I really like to get my worth out of it. But $80 game, I pre-ordered it, which was tough. So I was already saving up money for this. I pre-ordered at EB Games, and then of course everything closed down. How am I going to get my darn thing, right? How am I going to get my game that I've already spent 4 or 5 months paying off on a pre-order, and then not able to get it? But they did their thing, and they were able to get their copies to people who pre-ordered. So that was really awesome, still being able to get this game and play it. And it'll probably have a bit of replayability through it. But yeah, really, really cool. And the opening scene of this game, if you played it, really eerie, playing in this time right now. This outbreak, this virus, and just some of the scenes, the cutscenes in this game, just it gets to you a little bit playing it this time, but still really enjoyable. And another kind of post-apocalyptic virus-y game that's going to be coming out, I think, at the end of May, but it might get postponed now, I'm thinking, would be Last of Us 2. If you haven't played Last of Us, oh man, you got to do yourself a favor. Go play Last of Us, and jump on the wagon here and go get Last of Us 2 when it comes on, or when it comes out. I was planning on pre-ordering that, but I think I gotta go get my money back if the store opens up, because I'm not sure what's gonna happen again, in the future. So I might order it online instead of ordering it at a store. And I don't know what my finances are gonna be by then either. So I might have to just wait on it a little bit. But still, I think that's gonna be a pretty cool game to have, and I hope they don't postpone it because of the virus. But it is what it is, right? So that's that. I think that's all I got. I've chatted with you guys enough. Like I say, leave all your comments, questions, or tell me about your quarantine time, your hobbies, your comics during this time. I'd love to have a conversation with you, and I'll talk to you all later. Bye.